Have you ever thought that once you retire, all your stress will just melt away? That's what Robert believed. After 35 years in a high-pressure investment banking job, working 80-hour weeks, he was ready to relax, at age 63, while still working. His PSA was 7.9. His doctor figured it was probably stress-related inflammation and they'd just monitor it. Robert thought, once I retire, everything will get better. At age 65, he finally did it. No more deadlines, no more pressure. Time to travel, relax and enjoy life. 6 months later, at his annual physical, he was confident his PSA would have dropped, but the result came back. 9.1. It had gone up by 1.2. Robert was devastated. I retired to reduce stress, he thought, but my PSA went up. His doctor was puzzled too. This didn't make any sense. Robert then saw a health psychologist who specialized in retirement transitions. The psychologist asked him, "How do you spend your days now?" Robert described watching the news constantly, worrying about the stock market, feeling anxious about world events, and getting frustrated with his adult children's life choices. The psychologist stopped him. "You didn't retire from stress," she said. "You just changed the source of your stress." Work stress had become retirement stress. The triggers were different, but the physiological response was the same. His cortisol levels were probably even higher now than when he was working. Today, I'm revealing how chronic stress raises PSA through two distinct mechanisms, why retirement doesn't automatically lower it, and the exact stress reduction protocol that helped Robert drop his PSA by 1.4 points. If your PSA is elevated and you're under chronic stress, this could be the missing piece of the puzzle. Just a quick disclaimer, this is for educational purposes only and not medical advice. Always work with your own healthcare provider. Here's what Robert and most men do want to understand. Retirement doesn't automatically equal stress reduction. Research shows that about 40% of retirees experience the same or even higher stress levels in their first year of retirement. The sources just change. Work stress has triggers like deadlines and difficult colleagues. Retirement stress has triggers like loss of identity, financial anxiety, and lack of structure. Both activate the same stress response system in your body. Let me show you the two ways stress raises PSA. First is the inflammation pathway. Chronic stress makes your adrenal glands produce excess cortisol. This isn't the helpful short-term kind. This is the kind that creates system-wide inflammation. Inflammatory compounds circulate through your blood and affect every organ, including your prostate. When your prostate tissue gets inflamed, it becomes more permeable, or leaky. This allows more PSA to pass from the prostate tissue into your bloodstream, and your PSA number goes up. Robert's inflammation markers prove this. His C-reactive protein, a key inflammation indicator, had almost doubled after he retired. The second mechanism is the pelvic tension pathway. Chronic stress creates physical tension, especially in the pelvic floor muscles that surround your prostate. Most men don't even feel it, but this constant unconscious tightening compresses the prostate, restricts blood flow, and creates chronic irritation. All of this can increase PSA release. A physical therapist confirmed Robert's pelvic floor was like concrete from years of accumulated stress. He was getting a double impact: chemical inflammation from cortisol and physical compression from pelvic tension. The psychologist identified Robert's specific retirement stresses. First, loss of identity. He was no longer Robert, the investment banker. This created a constant, background anxiety. Second, financial anxiety. Despite having enough money, he checked his portfolio daily and panicked at every dip. Third, loss of structure. His days were wide open, which for him created anxiety about wasting time. Fourth, new family dynamics. He was now more involved in his adult children's problems, which created a whole new source of worry. And fifth, news consumption. He was watching the news all day, spiking his cortisol with every headline. So, they designed a specific plan. For his identity, he took up woodworking, giving him a new purpose. For his finances, he was allowed to review his portfolio only once a month. To create structure, he made a light daily schedule: walks, woodworking, reading, social time. He also learned to set boundaries with his children, learning to listen without trying to fix their lives. And crucially, he limited his news intake to just 30 minutes a day. No more TV news, no more doom scrolling. On top of that, he started a 20-minute daily meditation practice and took 3 30-minute walks in nature each week, without his phone. At first, all these changes were overwhelming, but after a few months he felt a significant shift. He was calmer and sleeping better. 6 months into this new routine, he retested his PSA. It was 8.4, down from its peak of 9.1. His inflammation markers were back in the normal range. 1 year later, his PSA was 7.7. That's 1.4 points down from his retirement peak, and even lower than when he was working his high-stress job. Robert's story reveals a critical truth. Life transitions don't automatically reduce stress. New stressors replace old ones. Unless you actively manage your body's response, your health might not improve the way you expect. Your prostate doesn't know the difference between work stress and retirement stress. It just responds to cortisol and inflammation. If your PSA is elevated during a stressful time, It's vital to address both your prostate health with your doctor and your stress levels. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, because next week I'm revealing the 5 inflammation-reducing foods that work synergistically with stress management to help support a healthy prostate.